Alright y'all, welcome back to Combat Arms channel. Okay, so today we are checking out another video from Azov. Now, I gotta say, this one was very, very highly requested. In the Discord, I think it got sent by like 20 people like right after each other. So I know you guys definitely want me to check it out. But this is an Azov like recon element operating in the swamps of the Luhansk region. And it looks like they're doing an offensive. And I mean, again, I've only been reconnaissance in the kind of non-deployed aspect. Over in Fort Polk, Louisiana, I was the recon platoon sergeant. And being recon in a swamp is conducive and kind of helpful in some regard. However, it can be a nightmare, especially when, you know, it gets really not permissive as far as like the actual terrain that you're walking through. And of course the foliage, and these guys having to actually conduct combat operations in that sounds like a nightmare. But I'm super excited to check this one out, and I know you guys are definitely excited to have me check it out, so let's do it. Damn, there's suppressed shots already. Dude. And it's nighttime. I mean, I'd imagine with the suppressors and stuff, they probably also have night vision, but it doesn't help when you have all these explosions and stuff. It gets very disorienting very quick. Dude, suppressors are such a game changer for this kind of environment, especially this time frame, like this part of the day. Conducting night operations, having some suppressors is definitely going to help out a lot, especially if you have night vision, so it's not, you know, flaring up your night vision as much either. These guys are always assaulting through some pretty gnarly looking terrain. Oh, sounds crunchy though. I'm wondering how you can tell that. You can kind of tell with like, it's called spore. Basically, if somebody broke branches a certain direction, you can tell which way they're going. And generally like how many people. But you can kind of like look into an open field, and if you see like a general line, it makes it pretty obvious. The light just reflects off of the foliage differently when it's all knocked down and stuff too. Damn, their camouflage is on point though. And with recon, you know, of course you're not trying to get into contact necessarily. But these guys look pretty well equipped if they do need to. But I'm not sure how big their element is. Generally with recon teams, they're pretty small. And you're kind of operating out of like a hide site. Oh, nice. He's got thermals? Dude. Thermals are great like any time of day. Except like dusk and dawn, but in the woods like this, it's gonna be very helpful. Especially for recon, having thermals is clutch.
Свои.
Oh, snap. Oh, he got... So he got someone? Damn. Just one dude by himself?
И сам справился.
No kidding. Was that like a patrol or something?
Давай, крой.
Just hearing like the birds and stuff like surrounding them. So trippy. Nice, okay. Some litter discipline.
Там тупо хавчик.
Damn, what was that dude doing then? I'm really liking their camouflage. Even in the infantry, like, camouflage absolutely helps, and just, it's not something that's practiced too much. In the recon, of course, it's different. So you definitely need your camouflage. And I had a lot of fun making the camouflage. These look like they're kind of commercial, off the shelf, but it seems like they're working pretty well.
Я принял, этим и занимаемся.
What is that? Is that a piss bottle? A lot of piss. I don't know what that bottle was. It wouldn't make sense for them to be pissing in a container in the woods, but I don't know. If you guys know, definitely let me know. I might just be missing something obvious.
Засыпь его листьям, белые участки все, понял, кожаные.
Jeez, what a task. But they said, so that's, they were saying friendly in the beginning. Is that one of their guys then?
Барс. Зліва, можливо, бачу мішки.
I mean, they're engaging someone. I imagine that was the enemy they're engaging. They probably wouldn't be uploading like a blue on blue or something.
Yeah.
It's so stressful. It's so quiet until it's not, especially in like a recon unit. So you can kind of see here, like what I'm talking about with the spore, like, so even with leaves, like the bottom of a leaf is going to have a slightly different color from like the top potentially, especially depending on like how much water it has on it or what have you. But even something like if you have a leaf like this or a branch like this and you kind of knock it over and you start seeing like the bottoms of it, like it'll start looking kind of like this, where the color variations are also kind of off. Makes it a little bit easier to kind of track where somebody was walking or breaking some brush.
Барс, тут справа Лёшка. Возьми туда.
The silence is so unsettling.
Прикрой меня, я подойду.
I mean, as long as the birds are still making noise, it's good for a recon element. Because once they stop, people can kind of like figure it out, like someone's probably in the area. If they're paying attention. See, my fear is just like hitting a landmine as like a recon element in Ukraine. Just landmines all over the place.
Дивися, там коло того дерева, там не критка.
Вот мне тоже кажется, что мешки какие-то.
Bags, huh? Damn. They found like
Барс.
enemy patrol base or
там
something?
На сході, ймовірно, критка.
Bars. It's a nice call sign. What if he raps or something? Oh, snap. Oh, a flashlight would be clutch right now. Even
Барс,
like,
Барс, тут пулемет.
Oh snap, dude. Flashlights are always good to have. Of course, even like during the day or inside of a building, there's always going to be some areas that could benefit from having one. But it's also like on a GoPro or a helmet cam, so it's probably not as dark in real life. So I'm liking what they're doing. They're doing a lot of like tactical site exploitation or like sensitive site exploitation. Like basically wherever they're operating, or if they just found like a dugout or something, they're going through it to see if there's any maps or any paperwork or anything to either identify the unit, try and understand like the order of battle a little bit, or of course understand what weapon systems were there, even like how long ago these guys were there. If they have like an operations order, of course that would be convenient. But something like that to kind of get our better idea of where these guys were, who they are, and what their kind of mission is. His camouflage is on point. It matches so good.
Тут ночник, тепляк,
Nice.
гранаты.
For real, that'd be my response.
Там, короче, брошенный броник, каска осталась.
What happened to that dude? He just
Пулемет
left all of his
на
really
спальнике.
expensive stuff.
Там на 2 человек. Нет, там лёжка, накрытая тентом. И москвич. Сейчас я ее отмечу.
I'm not sure what that word means.
100 метров еще. Этот. 150
Dude,
азимут.
There's short holds like that, man. Just doing a map check and stuff.
Ладно, мы сейчас купились. А? Нет, там не бойница, там просто лёжка. Лишь она замаскирована. И причем пулемет вот в эту сторону.
So they're talking about how well it's camouflage. So I'm wondering if maybe they also walked upon an enemy kind of recon element, or maybe like their hide sites, because hide sites are going to be a little bit better camouflage, generally speaking, than like a normal patrol base or normal fighting position. So I'm wondering if that's what's happening here. Again, I don't understand what the translation would be for that word that they're using, but if they're talking about how well it's camouflaged and
Стоп,
stuff.
поход. И вонючая же гнида.
All that foliage looks dead, so it looks like either they threw foliage on top of them or that was like a fighting. Yeah, okay.
Угу. Покорченный.
Damn. So again, they're kind of assessing how long ago these guys were in
Там
contact.
воняет. Тише. Он РПГ.
Call him old man.
Я на карте отметил, если что. Дох. Да, там дох, он тупо на все это лежит.
Nice, yeah, doing the mapping everything out.
Вон там уже там скелет.
Oh shit.
Так, Шон, мы дальше двигаем.
Mapping everything out is going to be pretty helpful for the commanders and stuff to understand how these guys were arrayed.
Вот это. Точку ставили, вот. Все, значит, мы отсюда разгортаемся, правильно? Забирай сапера, сапер с нами тоже в боевой порядок, разворачиваемся здесь. Ты бог, я вижу. Сместись чуть право, контроль право. Я буду контроль.
It's got to be so stressful seeing these positions. Like, it's so easy to get complacent and just expect all of them to be, or want all of them to be empty, like the other fighting positions I saw. But of course, you don't want to assume that, because then could end very badly if you're just strolling up to the trenches and there's a whole squad in there. Man, with their camouflage and their suppressors and stuff, unless they're silhouetted, like with the sun behind them, even if they get into contact in this kind of environment, it's going to be much easier for them to confuse the enemy, and at least like in where they're at or how many they have, and also to break contact. I mean, movement draws the attention as well, but if you're not that close, it'll still be pretty easy to peel away. Easier, at least, depending on what you're
Достань у меня с маленького рюкзачка коллиматор и
hitting.
вложи в большой тепловизор. Давай оперативненько.
Collimator. So collimator, unless the translation is slightly different, collimator is generally something that you'd use to kind of like zero something. So like it would be something that you would put, you know, maybe inside of your muzzle or your barrel, and you would basically align your optic into that collimator, because it's got like an optical portion itself, and kind of with it's being plugged into the muzzle like that, and your certain optic, if you're using the right collimator and whatnot, so you can kind of zero your optic pretty quickly using it. So I'm wondering if maybe he's just switching. Yeah, he's switching optics, and then
Группа проста. Переходим в пилоту, идем дальше.
making sure it's still good. Oh yeah, holy cow, that is very swampy. It stinks too. If you get your boots on it, get your boots in it, it stinks.
Стрибай. Стрибай.
I'm wondering what happened here, because it looks like, I mean, it seemed like there was a battle already, but that looks like something, like some arty or indirect fire kind of opened that up pretty well there. Even crossing like a little swampy thing like that, kind of like a little linear danger area.
Похоже на лёжку. Сухостой, видишь?
They're
Зачищай.
doing a good job kind of pushing more past that into the trees, so they're not by the open area too much.
Барс простул. Мы на финальной точке. Мы на финальной точке.
Oh damn, okay, so
Повтори, не прошу.
definitely sounds like they're getting pretty close to something.
Там от прилета какая-то. Там дерево догорает.
Damn. Dude, that's so interesting to like watch the recon movement. Oh, it's kind of seeing the map and stuff.
Давай, давай. Давай, братан, давай. Давай, отходим, отходим. 300? Где рука? Ты? Турникет наложили? Да. Все, давай,
Ah,
быстрее.
damn, dude. Dude, Skedcos or like portable litters like that makes such a difference, especially in like environment like this. You can really drag somebody. It's pretty low friction. It's not like a cloth. It's flexible,
Давай.
light, of course. I was skeptical of them at first, but golly, dude, look at that. That's just unloading into the tree line. That looks so terrifying. It looks like they're breaking contact right now. You can kind of see they're peeling around each other. And when you're breaking contacts, like you're not going to be going so much as far as like in the traditional infantry where you're finding a target and conserving your ammo. If you're a recon element and you come across anyone, more than likely they're going to be more well equipped. They're going to have more people. They're going to have a bigger formation. And they potentially will be in a defense as well. So you're going to want to get out of there quick. And while you're doing that, you're going to want to use as much firepower as possible. And of course, not dropping that security while you're doing it. Oh, shoot, dude. Almost got an RPG. wild, man. Dude, that's crazy. Again, like, there wasn't a whole lot of, direct action in this, luckily for these guys, but just seeing the movement and seeing the communication and seeing how they're using everything that they're seeing is awesome. These guys definitely know what they're doing 100%, especially for a recon element, in kind of finding the value in what they're coming across. Really interesting video. Again, very different from kind of the other videos we've seen, especially from Azov, very, very close combat, direct action kind of stuff. This was a little bit more kind of like slow, more seeing their operations flow, kind of seeing their tactics and how they're using all of kind of what they're doing, again, to conduct that site exploitation, kind of get that intelligence, which of course is the primary focus of a recon element, is to gather that information and use that intelligence for the guys who are going to be conducting an attack or who are kind of in the defense getting ready to expect an offensive. But yeah, super interesting to kind of see the meticulous work that these guys are doing, and also seeing their equipment, especially kind of like what they're talking about with the collimator and also the thermals. And pretty interesting to see that they found like a night vision device left behind, a thermal left behind, body armor, helmet. Like you get to just kind of like wonder what the story is behind all of that. But very, very fascinating video. And of course, I do appreciate you guys sending this my way. So of course, I'll put the original video in the description so you guys can go and check that out and check out the original channel, because Azov is definitely staying busy. They're doing some very impressive work against these Russian invaders. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. Definitely let me know what you think about the commentary. If you guys like the reaction, definitely feel free to hit that thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, definitely consider subscribing. I don't know what the metric is right now, but I think roughly like 15% of the viewers are subscribed. So like the other 85% is not subscribed. So I'll put the metric up here, but definitely consider subscribing. I appreciate y'all. Thank you again for the awesome recommendation. That is it for this video. I'll see you on the next one.